It's good to have you back on YouTube, man. We have missed you. I have missed you.
Oh, thanks,
So
man. Yeah, I'm sorry I've been absent. I know you've been posting. I still got to watch some of your I have a backlog of videos, so so I'll be
hopefully I
on
have
there.
more. So I'm planning on Sora and maybe Master Chief. And I wasn't gonna do Geno.
Oh
Someone
god.
asked me to do a video on Geno.
You
Um,
know what, man? I was thinking of you because I think Sora has a really good shot right now.
Me too.
I honestly think so.
If Sakurai's going off of cool stages, great music, and characters
Yeah.
that are popular that make sense, he's all three. Like,
Yeah,
can you imagine the
I'm
music?
actually really down. I wasn't before when you first mentioned him. I was like, I mean, I thought it would be a cool idea, but now I'm like so sold because I know how good Kingdom Hearts music is.
Mm-hmm. And
Um,
like that's the thing. Everybody's like, "Well, Disney." There doesn't have to be a single drop of Disney on him.
no, no,
Like,
no. He's his own entity for
oh yeah.
sure.
Well, I don't want to talk too much before we actually do the discussion because some of the stuff we can bring up in the discussion. But
I know this
yeah,
always
it's
happens, right? We like burn
I
out
know,
a
right?
lot.
It happens with
Um,
me and Drew too on our podcast. So, yeah. What's up, guys? Alpha Stoutland here, and it's time to quit moping over Shantae not being in Smash as playable, and it's time to do a Smash Brothers Ultimate Final Direct discussion. Now, I'm not doing this alone. I have a very, very special guest with me today. You guys know him on here as WreckItRyan on YouTube, and he's one of my good buddies on here. So, Ryan, tell the audience hello.
Hey, everybody, this is Ryan here. Thank you so much for having me, Alpha Stoutland. This is awesome.
Of course, and it was actually his idea to do this to start with. So,
Oh well, okay.
yeah. But it is always a pleasure to have you on the channel, whether in the comments or now in the videos. So, just really good to have you back on YouTube, man.
Happy to be here, man. Thanks again
But
for having me. Let's do it.
sure, yeah. I had a little synopsis of what I wanted to talk about, just because I know you're limited on time tonight, and there was a lot that really stood out. There was a lot of kind of stuff, so we'll kind of skim over that and talk about the juicy tidbits. And I feel like the biggest thing we need to talk about are our final three newcomers. Well, technically two, but three planned.
Yes.
First up is Ken.
Three
So,
plant.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ha ha ha.
Sorry.
I love bad
Go-
puns too.
Yeah.
But Ken, what do you have to say, Ryan?
Yeah, no, I actually think Ken is like a more interesting Ryu. I think he just has a little bit more going for him in terms of personality.
Yes.
I like that he's faster. I like that his what is it? His spinning kick kind of has multiple hits. So a couple components of him I really like. I think I'll pick him up a little bit more than I did Ryu.
Oh yeah. What sold me was all the fire in his attacks. I was like, okay, I'm sold. It's kind of like
Yeah.
Roy with Marth. It's like it's just him with fire. I love this.
That's
So,
true, actually. I didn't even think about that.
But yeah, he was so expected, and like I predicted, Ken and Shadow. Sadly, Shadow was deconfirmed as an assist trophy, which we will talk about shortly with the assist trophy assassination that happened. But I mean, that's what everybody's been calling it. That's pretty much what it was.
Yeah.
But Ken, I really did expect. Like, I feel like with Konami getting a rep a rep Echo and Richter, I was like, okay, with him being the original Echo fighter besides Luigi, he has to be in. And so I wasn't really surprised. And of
Right.
course, I made a joke of that in my reaction because I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. But he is cool, and like you said, he has loads more personality than Mr. Stone-faced Ryu. So I am glad he's in.
Stone Cold Ryu. Yeah, is it true that leaked image with Ken and Pichu and all that's real, right? That was a real image?
I think it is. I think it ended up being legit.
Because it looked like that one taunt he did with the thumbs up. I think
Yeah.
that was straight from that image. So I guess that was real.
Yep. Apparently so, man. And it's weird. That's the one that didn't ruffle Nintendo's feathers. We still don't know which one did because the Grinch leak was fake. So who knows what
Right.
leak that was? So
Yeah, I
hopefully
don't know.
hopefully something Shantae related, but probably sadly probably not. I was thinking it was something Geno related, honestly, but we may never know. It
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, that was my thought too. I thought one of those like Geno pictures or something, but yeah, who knows? I guess
I
maybe
thought
we'll
for
find
sure
out someday.
I thought for sure Sassy Geno was legit.
I
And
know.
then it turned out to be fake.
I know. That was well
So-
done. There's some really well done leaks out there, I have to
For
say.
real, dude. Like the way the Grinch leak went on, I really started questioning, okay, this may be real, but I just had this gut feeling because last time the ESRB leak, I thought at first maybe it's fake. And then as time went on, I was like, okay, it's real. And then this time, I felt the exact opposite. I started off, I was like, holy cow, this is real. And then when all the discrepancies started getting pointed out by Artsy Omni and Van Rose on Twitter, I was like, okay, we can't overlook this.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I think I started out more a believer, and then as time went on, I agree. I kind of fell off. I was like, this just seems too good to be true.
Mm-hmm. But moving on from Ken, who was on the leak, and none of the other 6 are, Incineroar. So, what's your thoughts on Incineroar, Ryan?
Yeah, I like him more than I did as a concept. Like, as a concept, Incineroar, to me, it wasn't my favorite Pokemon, and I think we touched on this a little bit in the last discussion, but I would have rather had Decidueye, personally, as, like, a starter, because we already have a Final Evolution starter in Charizard. We have that water representation with Greninja. I'm just all about that balance, so I really wanted that grass Final Evolution, but you know what? It's cool. I really like his wrestling moves. He's unique, and it's surprising that we didn't have a wrestler until now in a fighting game, so it's cool to have him.
Yeah, and talking about grass types, I was still vouching for Sceptile, man. I would have loved Decidueye, but Sceptile, man.
Yeah, that would have been a good one too.
Especially because he was actually fairly popular on the ballot, so I was like, okay, if any Pokemon gets in, he's grass type, fully evolved, popular on the ballot, and then lo and behold, Incineroar gets in. So it makes sense, just like with Greninja was used as, like a representative for Gen 6, and now Incineroar is for Gen 7. Fairly popular in Japan and overseas, pushed in the anime just like Greninja. So it made sense, and then him being a unique new fighter, it made sense. And like you said, we don't have a wrestler, and we haven't really had a grappler besides Donkey Kong and Bowser, and even those two are kind of eh. So when it comes to that, I mean, they're amazing characters. I love them, especially DK. 4 Meteor Smashes. Hoo boy. But the fact that we finally have an actual wrestler in Smash is really cool.
Yeah, you really made me think about that Sceptile, man. I feel like that was a missed opportunity, because his final Smash could have been like the Mega Form, and he'd have that Christmas tree tail just slapping everywhere. That would have been super fun.
Yeah, I know. And I would say DLC, but I think DLC is going to be limited to pretty much third parties this time around. Which again, we'll get to that shortly.
Yeah.
But I mean, because I started to say that's what it was last time. It was half and half. It was vets, some newcomers, and then third parties for the last bit. But final newcomer that is expected, fighter number 70, that nobody saw coming, Piranha Plant from the Mario series. So I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this, Ryan.
Yeah, there's probably like one person out there who like had them on their bingo card or had Piranha Plant like in their list, and they're like, oh my gosh, and they went out and bought like 20 lottery tickets. But me, like you, I was so confused when I saw that trip. I was like, what is he talking about? Like, what is this limited time offer? And then I actually thought that was like a trailer for Geno.
Me too, dude.
Something about it just looked, I thought with the stars, like there are stars rotating around like Yoshi's heads and stuff. I was like, is this and then I thought it was an assist trophy or an item. I was so confused. And then once that thing came out, like Piranha Plant pipes up, I was like, just my jaw hit the floor.
I know, As soon as he dodged Mario's attack, I was like, wait, what? And then he bit him. I was like, what? So what do you think about it? Do you like it, hate it?
I love this character. I love him. I'm going to main him. I'm going to get the amiibo. I'm going to get a stuffed animal. I'm all about Piranha Plant. I love the little legs. I love all the moves. Seem so like unique and like kind of tricky and a lot of setups and positioning. I just love this character, man. I'm all about Piranha Plant.
I know, and like I want to be salty that he got in over Shadow, Skull Kid, Shantae, Isaac, Geno, Banjo, but I can't be. I love how just like it's like, why do you exist? And it's like you didn't know what you had until you had it, and it's like, I love this. Like he's so unique. Like he's not a waste of a slot in my opinion.
Oh, definitely not.
He's so unique, and I love and I'm gonna do a video about it. I don't want to ramble too much on this because we do have time limit. But I love when Sakurai does these random characters like Wii Fit Trainer, Duck Hunt, Ice Climbers, Rob, Mr. Game & Watch. That is like, you could never make a moveset for them. And he made a moveset for them. And I love that about him. The man's brilliant. And I do hate we missed out on some great characters, but I just love how random this is.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, no matter how much speculation you do and how much like thinking you do in terms of what could he pick for that WTF character, because we were thinking like that Meteo or like a Tetris piece or like Mach Rider or the big, trying to think of all these WTF possibilities, and he just comes out with this. I was like,
I know,
who the heck thought this was coming?
Yep. And and it's like, I actually had thought, I was like, what if a Goomba Paratroopa Duo was a character in Smash? But I mean, this works too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you can do a lot more with the Piranha Plant than a Goomba anyway, because all they literally do is just waddle around. Same thing with the Paratroopers and the Koopas. But every other character like that, Goomba, Koopa, Hammer Bro, has been playable in other games, and so now it's Piranha Plant's time to shine. So
yeah, and the doors are wide open.
That's the truth, man. Anything is possible. We got Cloud and Piranha Plant. Anything is possible now.
Yes. Yes.
So moving on from the fighters, I did want to talk about the characters who got deconfirmed as assist trophies. And of course, we've already seen characters like Ashley, Crystal, Shovel Knight, Rip, and all these other great characters that have been deconfirmed. Zero, and all these other great characters. Some others were added to the list on the site that weren't in the direct, like Dylan, Skull Kid. Huh?
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I thought they would have given them the light of day, but they were totally omitted from the
I know,
direct.
Especially Skull Kid. I hate that, man. We need a new Zelda rep. Man, it just like, I'm glad Young Link is back. He actually looks really cool.
He does.
I just wish we had like new Zelda, and Skull Kid fit that to a T. And I hate this because I was like, oh, the Moon's an assist trophy. He's got to be in. Nope, he's not. Same thing with Shadow. When I saw Knuckles, I was like, oh, Shadow's an Echo now. Nope. No. So Shadow, Isaac being deconfirmed. That hurt me for the Isaac fans.
I know.
I know Billy Bo 10K was crushed. He was the biggest supporter for him I saw.
I know. It is really tough, especially with that Sakurai tweet with that pretty apparent link between that picture and the Golden Sun battle, layout and everything. Yeah, that was tough. It was tough to watch. I mean, it's tough to see those things happen, and as excited as people got, especially with the Grinch leak behind, blowing their sails, it just seemed like everything was pointing towards him being playable, and I was totally on board with that. And so that was pretty shocking. It was tough. Yeah, it's tough to see.
Yeah, and the item too that was confirmed at the Wendy's tailgate thing. I was like, oh wow, he's a shoe-in now. Right. Man, I just all the signs pointed to Isaac being playable, and then it wasn't meant to be, and I hate that for the fans. But
yeah, I mean the game is bottom line like so ambitious. There's so much content packed in here, and I hate to say that maybe it's a factor of it being like an accelerated development time, because this is a pretty fast turnaround for Smash. We only got it announced this year, and it's already coming out in like 4 weeks ish. So I don't know if any of that played into like some of these rushed things, like Young Link having the same Triforce Final Smash instead of like Fierce Deity Link, or like Skull Kid being omitted as a play. So I don't know if any of those factors kind of came in terms of some characters getting snuffed, but I'm not sure.
And we still haven't seen Diddy Kong's Final Smash. Like, I love Yoshi's new Final Smash. That's great. But Diddy Kong's is still missing. So
that's a good point. I don't know what they would. I kind of pictured it being like Sonic's new one, where he just like he does the same thing that he's always done with his peanut blasters, and just kind of flies around. Like, you can't really control him that well, but I don't know.
Yeah. That's one thing we'll have to wait to see. That's one of the 2% things we haven't seen out of the 98% he's shown off. So I know there's a few other characters, but I just can't think of them off the top of my head that we haven't seen their Final Smash. But because I think Dark Pit and Pit both do the same thing, which is weird because Dark Pit doesn't ride the Lightning Chariot. But hey.
Oh, that is weird.
Yeah.
Someone said, who is it? Who had Chrom in their Final Smash? Was it
It was Robin. We haven't seen Robin's. That's who else it was.
Apparently, someone said they saw it, and the Ikram is still a part of it, which is confusing. I don't know. That's what they said.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I don't know if they had to rush through some of those things during the accelerated development, but yeah, that'd be kind of interesting. Maybe Alfonso will take his place if Ikram's play. I don't know.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, that would be great.
A couple other characters that they're still up in the air because they're spirits. Obviously, the one that broke my heart to a million pieces was Shantae in the last 15 to 20 seconds of the direct. Ryan, obviously as a fellow Shantae supporter, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I touched on this in my video, and I actually had a pretty different reaction to you. I was pretty excited to see her in terms of like any capacity, and for me, like seeing spirits like Robobot Kirby and Captain K. Rool, there's a Peach, a Ridley. Like if these spirits are replacing trophies, we've had trophies for every single playable character, Melee, Brawl, and 4, so I don't see why it wouldn't be the case here too. I don't think this deconfirms her. The thing that did concern me though is the way forward and Matt Bozon tweets. But the more I think about it, like how else are they supposed to respond?
Exactly.
Like, they're so excited that she's in the game. You know, they can't just not respond to that. But they're still not responding to people asking them if she could be DLC. So I don't know if there's ongoing negotiations or if they're already decided on the 5 DLC characters and just haven't started working on them yet. But
that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, but for me,
that he put this in to like gauge. Okay, how much do people actually want Shantae? And I feel like it's almost like he didn't get her in base roster, but he maybe contacted WayForward and was like, okay, guys, we're going to see just how much the fans actually want her. You know, tease her a little bit, and we'll see how much the fans want her. And, you know, you doing videos, me doing videos, Sliced Flame, all these other guys doing videos has done nothing but build up hype for her. Yeah. And so I'm hoping that we just have a little drop in the bucket on the impact of her possibly getting into Smash. That's my hope. That Sakurai does really see that people really want her.
I agree. I think now's the time to be all in for Shantae. I don't think it's time to, you know, lose hope, lose sight of what we want, because this is the time to push for her, I think, without being you know, annoying about it. But this is time, like you're saying, build up support, build up hype. Let's do it.
And I do have to say to my subscribers watching, thank you guys so much for just encouraging me to push on, because I was just done. I like literally, when my reaction to that was exactly that on the camera. Like I went to go like wash my hands, like I had to use the bathroom, went to wash my hands, I looked in the mirror, I looked like someone had just shot my puppy. I felt so it was just that crippling, like even when Shovel Knight got deconfirmed, man, I moved on. I was like, well, he doesn't have a chance. Let's go to Shantae. And then, like, I honestly kind of caught Shantae on the rebound after Shovel Knight.
Right.
But the more I learned about her as a character, and the more I saw her fan base, and then, of course, her doubling my subscriber count, and just seeing what a great character she was, I was like, holy crap, I want Shantae so bad now. Wow. It's just, and it hurt so much more to see her deconfirmed. And, like, even Shovel Knight got, like, a good 15 seconds of screen time, and Shantae was literally, like, a second blip in the 40-minute presentation. And that hurt so much, because, you know, Shovel Knight's got the 3D model, he's got a partially fully fledged out moveset, and then she's literally just a glorified sticker. And that, like, it's great that she's in the game, but I'm hoping there's more. Like you said, I'm hoping that WayForward has had discussions with Sakurai. I'm hoping that there is a little inkling of hope that she might be DLC. I'm hoping.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping.
Me too. So you went from Shovel Knight to Shantae, so Shantae Alpha's side chick is canon? I'm just kidding.
She's too young for me. But I honestly underestimated her so bad during the ballot. Like, she's such a cool character, and I'm definitely looking forward to playing her games for the channel. I can guarantee you that.
Nice.
Because she is technically in Smash now, so
she is.
It's coming, guys. It's coming. So, but there were a couple other characters that could be deconfirmed or not. Gino was surprising. Dixie Kong was surprising. Tails, and a bunch of other characters that could have potentially been deconfirmed. Again, just because you're a spirit possibly means you might not be out of the running.
That's what I think. I don't
yeah.
think they're deconfirmed. Yeah.
Yeah. What makes me think, like, I wonder at this point if, like, Karate Joe, the Chorus Kids, Dixie Kong, Bandana Waddle Dee may get DLC. Like I know we got Mewtwo and Roy and Lucas and all those guys and Corrin in Smash 4, but I really feel like this time will be the time that Sakurai puts in those whoa DLC fighters like Banjo-Kazooie, Geno, Rayman, Shantae, Sora, Master Chief, just characters that's like, what? Just like Cloud was. And I feel like we got Inkling, Ridley, K. Rool, and all the big heavy hitting Isabelle, all the really popular first parties in base. I could see of all the first parties getting in, I would say Bandana Waddle Dee possibly has the best chance. But besides him, I see only third parties for DLC. Like, I really do. And we'll talk about our DLC picks in a bit. I want to use that to close the video out.
Okay,
because I want to get your thoughts. I mean, obviously we both have Shantae pegged, but
yeah, no, I'm ready.
But I do want to talk about the one thing that everybody was speculating over since it was blurred out in the August 8th Direct, and that is Spirits Mode. I want to hear your thoughts on this, Ryan. We've already talked somewhat about this character Spirits, but what do you think about Spirits Mode as a whole? Yeah,
that's a great question. I'm torn. Part of me really, really likes it, and part of me is kind of unsure about it. I think there's still a bit that I'm confused about it, honestly, because is it like a very involved just event mode? Like, it's a bunch of modes you pick from, or like matches you pick from, and you just, is that kind of your understanding? It's like a big event mode?
It seems somewhat like that, yeah. Like, it's an event mode, but like more of a crossover aspect. Like, you're not just fighting like the bounty hunters, you're fighting like a giant K. Rool that's supposed to be a villain from Legend of Zelda, but it's not actually Legend of Zelda villain, but it's actually, it's based on that. Like I do think it's kind of like just a glorified event match, which is cool, but also not.
And then I'm wondering, sorry, I was just gonna say, do you know if the spirits are only like the spirits that give you all of those stat bonuses and everything? You can only use those in spirit mode, and you can't use those outside of it, like for multiplayer matches and so on?
I think it's just limited to spirits. I'm pretty sure.
Well, it must be.
Yeah, because I don't think. Yeah, I think it'll be a little unbalanced if it was like on like ranked and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
it's like a.
Yeah, definitely not online. But I was wondering maybe like local multiplayer. But it has to be. I mean, that spirits mode has to be pretty robust, like in terms of how many event matches, quote unquote, that they have. Because if they're going that in depth with all of the, I mean, there's got to be hundreds, probably thousands of spirits, and like all of those different intricacies with the rock paper scissors thing, and there's got to be like hundreds of event matches, I'm thinking.
For real though, like, and think about all the characters that aren't in the game in any way, shape, or form. Yeah. But they're like referenced in these event matches. Yeah. Like I mean, we could see something with Shovel Knight, and different other characters like Rhythm Heaven, or Arms, and all these, like, you got, like, it showed with Lip, like, she's nowhere in the game, but you have to fight a Mii fighter as her. Yeah. And so, yeah, there's so many, like Sakurai said, there's so many crossover combinations you could have in this one event mode. Yeah. In Spirits mode. So.
Yeah, and to go back to your original question, I think that's the part that appeals to me, because as in like the World of Light mode, which we'll talk about, I think Sakurai is really pushing this idea of like imagination and being creative and taking those event matches and like really putting yourself in that game mode or that game series that's maybe not represented in an assist trophy or a fighter, but having that, you know, all of that game and all of the personality that game brings, and being like involved in that event match. I think that's pretty cool. The part that I'm not as big a fan of is just how it seems how just involved that process is, where you like trade in spirits and level them up, and it just seems so overwhelming. Where maybe once we start to play it, it'll start to make a little more sense, but it just seems so overwhelming because I didn't really get into all the equipping and all that stuff, the custom moves. That wasn't for me in the last game, so that's the part that doesn't appeal to me as much. Personally.
Yeah, the custom moves were somewhat, like, there were some cool ones, like, I'm not gonna lie, in the last game, but for the most part, like, literally the only character who like utilized them well was Palutena and the Mii Fighters.
Yes.
I feel like they were literally made from the ground up just for those characters. And like you, I really didn't use them all that much. Like, except for maybe in Smash Run and just messing around with my brother and my friends playing Smash. But honestly, like, I cut out a good 15 minutes of my reaction video because it was spirits. And I was literally just staring at the screen, just kind of like, once in a while, like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it wasn't,
like,
they did go on a lot about that.
yeah, it didn't appeal to me. Like, I wasn't hyped. I was just kind of like, I mean, I don't hate it. It's just not one of those things I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's kind of there.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Going back to the custom move thing, I think Mii Fighters still have custom moves, it looked like, in one part of that video, I think.
That is, like, I'm wondering how they're going to streamline that. Like,
Yeah.
and one theory I had is that the Mii Fighters might all be the same size now. Like, there's no size difference, which takes out the aspect of, faster, lighter, stronger, slower, heavier characters. Like, it would prevent that discrepancy altogether. And it's like, you can still have different custom moves, but they're all the same height, they all have the same running animation and all that jazz, and the same weight and all that, so you don't factor that in and complicate it even more, but you
Right.
still have the freedom to customize your Mii Fighter with your personal playstyle. So that's just a little theory I have. We'll see when the game comes out. But I'm hoping we get some more cool Mii Fighter outfits. I love the Ray MK
Oh,
and
that
the
one
Chibi
is cool.
Robo.
That is really
But
cool.
yeah, and the Ribbon Girl one looked really good too.
Yeah.
Again, really shocked Springman's not at least DLC. Like, that was shocking.
That was shocking to me too, for sure.
And of course, Rex and Pyra being deconfirmed like that, I was like, holy cow.
No.
I know that hurt you as a Xenoblade fan. Man.
Yeah, so I think Rex is deconfirmed. I know some people are thinking he's like the first DLC, but I think that Mii Costume deconfirms him. But I don't know if Pyra is deconfirmed yet. Like,
That's a good point.
I really want a Pyra and her transformation. I want that as a character, like her and herself as a character. I think that would be really cool. But
Me, myself, and I.
yeah, yes, exactly. But,
so when they're in a Ditto match or mirror match, they're literally beating themselves up. So
yeah.
But that's a good point. Like, Pyra might still be playable. Very good point.
I think she's a spirit, and again,
Yep.
I'm under the impression that doesn't deconfirm you, so I think she's still in the running.
Like, I've seen so many people in comments like, man, Rex got deconfirmed, but we didn't lose the important thing. We lost Rex, but we also lost the waifus. Like, man, it just...
Nah, who cares about Rex? It's all about Pyra.
I know, like, I ain't gonna lie, she is gorgeous, and she seems like so much more interesting as a character than he does, just from the gameplay I've seen. I'm like, dude, he's so lame. Like,
Yeah, well, he's such a nice guy. You gotta love Rex, but yeah, he's a little bit two-dimensional in some ways. But I love the guy. But man, give me some Pyra, please.
But hey, that's a good
Please,
theory.
Sakurai.
We'll see in the next few months if that's the case or not. I could see her being DLC. If not, like, I've literally had Rex and Pyra and Springman pegged as DLC.
Me too.
And I was shocked to see this. Like, I was like, okay, they missed the base roster, and then he just threw them in as a sister of his. I was like, oh my gosh, who's a DLC character now? But Pyra would be interesting. Bandana D and Pyra, I think, have the best chances now of first party DLC.
Yeah, and the one thing, just to go back on what I just said, the one thing against Pyra, unfortunately, is that with the Rex reveal as a Mii costume, he's coming with a bunch of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 music, which we've talked about. I love that music, but I don't know if that is a sign against Pyra, because if there's already all this new music coming with Rex, how much more is going to come if they announce Pyra? Because all of those DLC characters are coming with a bunch of music tracks, it sounds like. So I don't know, maybe Elma's more likely, I'm not sure.
Perhaps. Was there any music like that was associated with Pyra specifically?
Well, there are a couple of tracks that come to mind. I have to look back at the direct and see which one specifically they had there. That's a good question. I'll definitely go back and check that out.
Okay, because especially if she has like specific songs, like if there's like an emotional scene that plays that music and it involves her, or when she first meets Rex and stuff, like that could be her music, and the rest would be Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But it's like, hey, this is Pyra's music, so Interesting.
That's a good point. I'm gonna look into that.
But now that we're done with spirits, I mean, I do want to. Yeah, I already talked about how spirits was kind of like, kind of let down.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, World of Light. What are your thoughts, man?
Wow, I know this was a great way to end the direct and the Smash directs in general. Oh, so good.
But I have to agree, like this, the creme de la creme, icing on the cake. This was such a way to go out with a bang. We didn't have a banger character like King K. Rool or Ridley, but we had story mode confirmed, adventure mode.
Yes.
Almost like we wanted it. Like,
Yeah.
I did not personally expect anything like Subspace Emissary, but the fact that Sakurai had this insanely good cutscene fixed up with voices, I was
Yeah.
like, what? It was insane. And I'm trying not to fanboy to let you talk, but I was just blown away.
No, I was too. I was blown away like you. We were kind of in the same boat, I think, when we were talking about what the adventure mode could look like in terms of not being as robust as Subspace Emissary just because of time restraints. But man, they really did go all out with this cutscene. I love the voice acting. I love how each character's personality shone through, like in Subspace.
Yeah.
Like that was just so well done, and the music was awesome. I love how that song had lyrics to it the whole time ever since we first heard it, and we didn't know that, but it had lyrics all along. So that was so cool. It's just a really emotional moment.
Yeah, I would say that and Piranha Plant were like the two big surprises of the direct. Like they just made the direct. Like the rest was kind of ho hum, and like I already said, I expected Ken and Incineroar because of Virgibin, but Piranha Plant coming out of nowhere, and then us getting this amazing looking story mode. That was the hype right there.
Yeah, and it does look. I mean, maybe there aren't as many cutscenes as Subspace, or maybe that's the only one, and they have a beginning and an end one, or something like that. But it seems like the actual world map that you explore is really cool. I like that more than I like the platforming elements of Subspace because it seems like, I don't know if you played the what's it called, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, but it seems like it has a similar concept. Basically, you have like these battles that you enter at a certain point, which would be akin to the Smash battles that seem like you have in terms of action. And then outside of that, you have an overworld, which you kind of solve puzzles or, flip switches, which open up new paths, which it seems like is the route that this game mode is taking.
And it's so cool that it's still kind of customizable to an extent.
Yeah.
Choose your own path, fight the characters you want, unlock the characters you want. And as we saw with Rathalos moving around the stage, and Gallium from Brawl coming back as a boss. That was
so cool. Really cool. I really like that.
Like I saw him and I was, because it was right after Shantae got deconfirmed, so it didn't register at the time. I was like, oh shoot, Gallium is back. So we could see Duan and Rayquaza.
Yes.
And other characters come back. Porky. So
I think that's very likely. Yeah. And before I forget, that is a really cool thing that you're bringing up, because they are it is the ultimate Smash game, and they're referencing every previous Smash game, which is so cool. Like Yoshi's Final Smash from Melee's opening cutscene, and then Brawl, you have this, you have that boss, you have Piranha Plant's Final Smash is referencing PD Piranha with those cages from Subspace. And it's just so cool how they're referencing all the old games with the music track. It has like little fragments of melodies from the previous installments. So yeah, so cool. I love that.
Yeah, and like we could see other bosses. Like we could see Metal Mario. We could see Giga Bowser. We could see Taboo. There's just so much potential for bosses, man. And like, I'm just excited to see how this all goes down. Like I cannot wait. And I'm glad that Sakurai did it the way he did. He closed it out with it, closed it with a bang, and he was like, I'll leave the rest to your imagination. And that was the whole point of Spirits. It's like, it exists in the world of your imagination. I was like, that's what he meant by that. And then when he said, I'll let you use your imagination, so we're going to be running rampant with speculation for the next month, and he knows that. And he's brilliant, and he's sadistic, but he's brilliant.
Yes, sadistically brilliant, yes. He does love that. He loves our speculation.
Yep. And I'm so glad that he was able to pull something together in about 3 years like this. Like I did not expect anything like this. And I'm so stoked. And I'm so glad we have an adventure mode. Like we didn't get Shantae, We haven't got certain DLC characters yet, but we have an adventure mode. And it's something that we as Smash fans have been wanting forever. We got Rick. I almost said Richter. Well, we got Richter. That's cool. Yeah. We got Ridley. We got K. Rool. We got Simon. We got Isabel. We got Inkling. We just got so many cool fan service characters, and there are reasons to complain, obviously, because everybody has an opinion. But this game is just so expansive and awesome, and I'm so excited to see what all is in it when we finally get our hands actually on it. Not demos, not trailers, not teases. When we actually get to experience it ourselves, I'm so stoked.
Yeah. And just to think how far the single player has come from the last game, like Smash 4, that classic mode, I hated that classic mode. I hated Smash Tour with a passion. And there's no adventure mode at all. It was just so dry. And now we have the Spirits mode, this glorified event match, as you said, which is, some factors we don't like, but some factors we do like. And now the classic mode is returning from the old stuff, which I really like that. And now this adventure mode. So this is great. There's so much stuff here.
Now, classic mode is customized to each character, right?
Yeah. That's even big. That takes a lot of planning for 74 characters.
Yeah, and even more with DLC. So that's dude, I cannot wait.
Yeah, we're gonna be up to 80.
Yes, that's insane to think about.
Nice number.
That is insane. That just wow.
Yeah.
82 if Pokemon Trainer is counted as 3. There's just so much this game has to offer. Before we drag this on too much longer, before I drag this on too much longer, I do want to close the video out by asking, we got 5 characters confirmed as DLC. We get a stage and music alongside said characters, and we've already got Piranha Plant as a free DLC if we buy the game early, we pre-order it, or we just register it online before January 31st, I think. So, Ryan, I have to ask, what 5 characters do you personally want, and what 5 do you expect?
Ooh. Well, for me, I'm sticking with one list that has both of those, both of those factors combined. And if you want me, I'll list them out right here.
Sure.
And I don't claim to be a prophet by any means, and so just take this as it were.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Take it
like
with
everybody's
a
been
freaking
saying.
block of salt, because this is just, So number 1, I think a Square Enix character, and I'm gonna say either Geno or Sora, and I feel almost the most confident out of my whole list. This is in descending order of confidence. I think they are going to be, one of them is going to be a DLC. I don't know if both of them will be, but I think one of them. Number 2, I'm going to say Shantae, because I think things are still pointing in her direction. I think at least 70 to 80% of our evidence is still alive and well, and yeah, I think she stands a good shot. Number 3, I'm going to say a Microsoft representation. So for me, either Banjo and Kazooie or Minecraft Steve, but please let it be Banjo and Kazooie.
Yes.
Please. I'm gonna have to wash my mouth out that I said that. Number 4, I actually think Rayman stands a pretty good shot. And number 5, I'm gonna say a first-party character, which will be either a new Fire Emblem character from Three Houses, Bandana Waddle Dee, or a Xenoblade Chronicles character like Pyra or Elma. Those are my 5.
Very good list, and I pretty much concur with all of those, but I do want to share my 5. I like, when you kept saying that, I was like, dude, his list is almost exactly like mine.
Oh, jeez.
There's like 1 or 2 characters off, but I agree 100%. I would love to see both Geno and Sora. Like, they both deserve the roster slot so much, and in a perfect world, they both get in. But knowing Square and how hard they were to get Cloud in the game, I feel like we'll only get one. And I'm sorry, Geno fans, I want Sora. I know Geno, like, in a perfect world, we get both. But the personal attachment and the moveset and just the demand. I mean, I know Geno's demanded, but man,
They're
Sora
both demanded.
Exactly, and that's what it kills me to pick the two because they're both such great characters and they both deserve it so much because they've been asked for so long. But I gotta go with Sora. Like, I love Sora, and I will be doing a video about Sora soon, and he deserves it so much, and I just love him as a character. Number 2, just like you, Shantae. I was so bummed out at first, but as people have pointed out, just because you're a spirit doesn't mean you might not be deconfirmed, and people have made the notion that since Pirate's Curse was out around the time of the Smash ballot, that this half-genie hero spirit could be a tease that, hey, she's based off of her Pirate's Curse appearance. So that is a possibility.
I like that.
I would prefer her to have her half-genie hero moveset. Now, Or it could be like she's based primarily on her Pirate's Curse moveset, but she still has magic attacks. So that would be the best of both worlds. If we can't have her half-genie hero appearance, they could even go back. Like, Sakurai goes back all the time to, like, old Mega Man, old Street Fighter, so he could go back to the first 2 games, for all we know, and base her appearance and moveset off of those games. So, like, she could be more of a melee brawler than a magic attacker. So, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, I do think the half-genie hero appearance is kind of off the radar now, so, and I do still think she has a chance. Like, again, mostly thanks to you guys reconfirming that, like, hey, don't cry yet, dude. She still has a chance. So, I'm not giving up hope yet.
Yeah,
like, I do think she still has a chance.
Yeah.
Number 3. Oh, you go ahead.
Oh no, sorry. I was just gonna say it doesn't matter how Shantae gets in, whatever her moveset, I'm all game. Sorry. That's it.
Like, and we don't have a pirate so far, so
we don't.
that'd be cool.
Well,
so
well,
to an extent.
Yeah.
I suppose like K. Rool to an extent. Like, we have pirate-like moves.
Or Ridley is a space pirate. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was
but like Yar pirate.
Yeah,
but,
right. No Yar pirate.
Good points. Don't have Captain Feathersword or Patchy in there yet, so.
Darn it. I'm gonna change my list.
Does anybody actually remember Captain Feathersword from the Wiggles? I just want to know. 'Cause that show was like my jam when I was
There's somebody
man.
out there. It's the same guy who predicted Piranha Plant. He knows this guy.
No, I'm not saying he needs to be. I'm just saying, does anybody remember him as a character? But because we're talking about pirates, Captain Hook, Patchy the Pirate, and Captain Feathersword for DLC for Smash because they're pirates and we need pirates.
Wow.
But number 3, like you, I say Banjo deserves it. Like, the fan demand, the history with Nintendo, Phil Spencer giving the okay, and people actually wanting him more than Steve. Now, I would personally love Master Chief. I love Chief. He's such a great character.
To bring this up again?
Hey.
Okay, sorry.
I asked you to this.
Yeah. I'm on your channel. I'm on your turf now. So.
Shade. No, guys, we're friends. But as much as I love Chief, I can take the L if Banjo gets in because they're too iconic and they're too historical with Nintendo and too highly demanded to just get the shaft this time around. And like, the stars are aligned for them, so we can hear "duh" in Smash. I want to see them just for the fans, and they are cool characters. Number 4, I also agree. Rayman has a really good shot. I know he's in Brawlhalla, but Street Fighter and Mega Man have both been in Marvel vs. Capcom for years, so I don't see how that hinders his chances. Plus, Ubisoft just bought Brawlhalla. Why would they not put their golden boy in the game?
Right.
So I think he still has a chance, and he could be such a fun character.
Yep.
And I actually downloaded the Rayman Origins demo for my Switch.
Ooh.
It was either Legends or Origins, and I played it, and I was like, dude, I see why people want him to Smash. His moves would be so much fun. He's just such a fun character to start with, and just the moveset potential. He'd be like the ultimate like long-distance brawler, and that would be so cool.
Yeah, he kind of like fling himself all over the place.
Yeah, it almost like Sukapon, but playable. And that'd be so cool. Number 5, in a perfect world, would be Geno alongside Sora, but I don't see both of them happening, sadly. But I agree with you. I think either Elma or Pyra, a new Pokemon rep, a new Fire Emblem rep, or Bandana Waddle Dee.
Wow, we like almost perfectly agreed.
Yeah.
Gee.
Or maybe, if we're going off of third parties, maybe like someone out there like the Dragonborn or Doom Guy or Master Chief, someone just like, why are you in here? Kind of like Cloud.
Way out there, yeah.
I mean, if we get Microsoft's approval with Banjo, I would think that it'd be like, hey guys, you get a historical character. How about you put Chief in Smash? Like, that would make sense, and it would be a great business move on both their parts to get both great characters in there. So I'm holding out hope for Chief as number 5, but I highly doubt it. Some will say Bandana D, Pokemon, Fire Emblem, or Pyra or Elma.
Now, if it was a Pokemon, what generation would you think it would be?
Oh,
from?
Gen 8 for sure.
Gen 8, okay.
Gen 8, yeah, to promote the game.
Yeah.
Just like Corrin was, so. But,
gotta love me some Corrin.
I do like Corrin, honestly, and of course, female Corrin's waifu for lifu. So
yeah,
they are a cool character, honestly.
Yeah,
but
I prefer Corn on the cob, but that's alright.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay, well, that's a good sign. We need to end this now. No.
Yeah, that's our cue.
Did you have anything else that stood out to you? I did want to say that I love how you can customize the Pokemon's cries.
Oh yeah,
to different languages and stuff.
That is really nice.
Yeah. And of course the plethora of music and, like you said, spirits, and just, dude, there's so much customization to this game. There's just so much cool stuff. Like, I remember that was one thing that really stood out to me besides spirits and the characters and all that was, oh shoot, Pokemon can have different languages now. And like, I was like, oh cool, now we can have English-speaking Cloud, but apparently that's not the case. So that's kind of a bummer, because now we have English-speaking Marth, and Cloud still speaks Japanese. I don't understand. I don't understand. But, and Roy still speaks Japanese too, right?
As far as I know. We don't, we don't have confirmation, but...
That's so weird that they made Marth speak English, but not Cloud. I don't understand that. Maybe Square was being stingy, but that was what stood out to me. Anything else you noticed, Ryan?
I just had two points. I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite part of the World of Light trailer?
Oh man, just that opening cinematic, and as soon as Fox said, "Don't let a single one get away," I was like, wait, they talk?
Yeah.
Just the fact that they'll actually be able to interact. Like, I love. Yes, I was like, wait, they don't talk. Why are they talking now? Like, I feel like there will still be limitations. Like, obviously, Villager can't. Mario usually does not. But that gives us, like, if there are even mini cutscenes, we can have some interaction, like verbal interaction with characters.
I know, which is...
And, yeah.
Yeah, that is what we were talking about, because, like, Subspace... we were talking about previously, there was no dialogue. Maybe one thing like Captain Falcon said, that was it. Which is amazing they did as much as they did without dialogue, but if they add it, gosh, how much more robust could it be?
I know, because they did such a great job of capturing all these different, like, all the little things the characters did, like when Olimar and Captain Falcon were looking over the cliff, and Olimar saw Captain Falcon look down at him, he's like, no, 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 and then he was sitting there like, no, 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 and he grabbed him and jumped with him, and of course when Fox had tea time with Sheik and Peach, like, just stuff like that, I just love and remember so well. And the fact that now it might be that, with the additional dialogue, and we could have stuff like Snake talking to Simon, and Bayonetta interacting with Samus, and just all these different combinations of characters, like, I love it, and I love the potential. Like, obviously nothing's confirmed until we get our hands on it, but just our imagination's running wild, like Sakurai wanted. It's just, there's so much potential.
Definitely.
And I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked.
My favorite moment was when Sonic slowed up to save Pikachu.
Yeah, that was cool too.
That was great. That was just a great moment. And
my favorite one was when Bayonetta got killed.
Oof. Oof. Big oof. Yeah, but did you know that there is actually some deep lore behind that Sonic scene?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because Pikachu is a mouse, and the Sonic games, you rescue the little forest animals. So, yeah, it's pretty deep lore.
Cool.
Yeah.
Of course, it made me wonder, like, why are Wii Fit Trainer and Villager just standing there? Like, she's literally sitting there, like, running in place, and Villager's sitting there running in circles, and then Duck Hunt Dog's just sitting on the ground like, no, I'm not going. I want to die. It's just... I love Duck Hunt, so I immediately pegged him and noticed him. I was like, why aren't you running? It's just such a great trailer. Just such a great direct.
Cool.
I just
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great way to end it for sure.
for sure, yeah. Anything else, Ryan?
I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Are you getting the game physical or digital?
Physical.
Okay.
I always prefer physical. I just like having the box and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I got a
How
digital.
about you? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you've already got Piranha Plant in the bag. So.
Oh yeah. I'm not messing around. That was the last straw. I was undecided once that came out. I was like, I gotta preload this game and get Piranha.
When I buy it, as long as you register on My Nintendo, you can get it. So I'm like, hey,
Yeah,
I get it either way, so I'm happy.
Yeah, you have plenty of time to do that too.
Yeah, such a good game. I know I've said that like 15 times, but I cannot wait. December 7th cannot come soon enough.
Yeah, what is it, like 35 days now as of recording? Crazy.
Yeah, that. Whew. It's hard to think about. It's so close, guys. It's almost a month away. It's almost here. Woo! Let's just wait a little bit longer. Woo! So yeah, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and again, huge thank you to Ryan, my buddy Ryan here, for joining me today. It was a pleasure having you as always.
Always a pleasure to be here. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
Sure. And thank you for coming up with this idea to start with. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll take the credit. Thank you.
But yeah, guys, that's gonna be it. So until next time, guys, God bless, and thanks for watching.
See you guys around.